Thank you for clicking on another video about English teaching. Today we will be explaining the main principles of 4 English teaching methods. Those are Desuggestopedia, the Community Language Learning method, the Total Physical Response method, and Communicative Language Teaching. Today I'll be collaborating with another classmate. Her name is Camila with a C, and my name is Camila with a K. So I hope you like the video and please keep watching.
Now we're going to talk about the Justopedia. This method focuses on everyday communication, meaning it doesn't focus on learning so much about the language as learning to use the language. A very important aspect of this method is that it focuses on eliminating mental barriers we have about learning. And for this purpose, teachers may use different tools like using different activities that help students be more relaxed when they're learning, the use of new identities to help them feel more confident, to eliminate the doubts they might have, presenting themselves as a very confident and very knowledgeable person, so the students can rely on the teacher and feel more confident, using native language to make sure students understand and there's no confusion and doubt at the moment of doing certain activities. And also another tool that's used is music is used to activate both hemispheres of the brain and help the students stay more attentive and interested. Another tool to help with students' interest is the visually appealing classrooms. There's a lot of posters and visual cues about entering this learning space and this learning process for the language. Next, we're going to talk about community language learning. This learning also focuses on communication, but here the teacher stops being so much an authority and starts becoming more of a language counselor. This means not that they are going to be psychologists, but that they're going to understand and take into account students' struggles and feelings when dealing with the learning process. This also means that students are going to be more responsible for their learning. They're going to know more about their learning process. They're going to be able to provide feedback that the teacher is going to acknowledge and take into account. So they're going to be very active in what they learn and how they learn it. There's also very much a spirit of cooperation and not competition, both amongst the students and amongst the students and teachers. Teacher goes to students for feedback on what content should they tackle, on how should they tackle it, and also students are encouraged to help each other in their learning process and to empathize with their fellow classmates, not to compete with them. The native language is used because it helps to bridge the known with the unknown. So it helps students be more comfortable in the situation. And self-evaluation is very much encouraged as to make students feel more in charge of their own learning process.
Hello again. So this is Camila with a K. I'll be talking about the Total Physical Response method and the Community Language Teaching. So the Total Physical Response was first proposed by James Asher. And Asher thought that the fastest, least stressful way to achieve understanding of any target language is to follow directions given by the language instructor. This means the teacher. Of course, without native language translation. So these directions are meant to be on the target language. And James Asher also believes that the target language should be acquired the same way we acquired the first language when we were children. That is by following commands. So you remember that when we were kids, we usually got a lot of commands from our parents, basically like don't touch that, stand up, sit down, be quiet. So we first learn those directions and those orders from our parents. And usually when we have kids around, we also do that a lot. We are always giving commands and keeping sentences short and concise so that children understand. Some of the main principles of total physical response method are that listening and understanding are developed first. So there's more special attention to those two than speaking, because it is believed that students will be willing to produce the language after 10 to 20 hours of following commands and demonstrations from the teacher. Also, meaning of words in the target language is often conveyed through actions. This way, students will connect the meaning of the word or action through the demonstration and the action they are performing. The target language should be presented in chunks, not just word by word. Moreover, students learn through observing actions as well as by performing the actions themselves. So we have students that are observing at a certain time of the lesson, and we also have students that are performing the actions themselves. I believe that this method is very useful in any type of school, whether it is a private or a public one, since most of the activities involve movement, and this will foster interest and engagement from the students to the lesson and the language itself. The communicative language teaching method is based on developing students' communicative skills. Some of the main characteristics of this method are the use of authentic language and material. This means material or language from real context and not language learning material. Also, identifying the speaker's or writer's intentions is part of being communicatively competent. Moreover, students should be given an opportunity to express their ideas and opinions. I believe that the communicative language teaching method can also be implemented in private and public schools, especially because student-to-student interaction takes place most of the time during the lesson. For instance, students could form small groups for having conversations about real-life issues or a documentary movie they just watched. This way, every student will have the opportunity to improve their communicative skills. Let us know in the comment section which principles or methods would you implement on your teaching practices. Also, if you liked the video, remember to give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.